Hello, my name is Evan Beaulieu, and I'm from Durham, Maine. I'm 19 years old, and I was picked as the 6th young gun in the Maine Young Guns competition.
All right, Evan, how good does this feel to be voted into the top 10 by the fans? The fans have spoken.
It's a big honor, it really is. I mean, especially with all the talent that's in the state of Maine, you know, a lot of people don't realize just how much talent, especially in our age group, that there is. And I mean, when the fans only get to pick 10, it's a big honor, and it's a great opportunity for somebody, you know.
Yeah, and that leads me to my next question. How big of a deal is this, or how big of an opportunity is it for the person that is chosen as Maine's young gun?
It's more important now than I think it's ever been to be able to drive in the K&N East Series, just because of how much money it costs to get to that point. And I mean, Archie and you are giving one driver a great opportunity, you know, and they got to make the most of it. And it's a really cool deal, especially for the state, to get behind that driver. You know, it's going to be a lot of fun, whoever wins. And I know that there's a good chance that it's going to be one of my friends, because, you know, we're all a really tight-knit group. And it's just cool to see. You know, it's going to be cool in September.
And what's pretty neat is when you think of, you hear people talk about your peers, you know, you never think of your peers being kids talking that way, 15 to 21-year-olds.
Yeah.
Those are adults. That's an adult term, your peers. And it's going to be one of your peers or yourself loading up and going down there and showing up with your helmet and your suit. And obviously there'll be some testing beforehand.
Yeah.
And getting the opportunity to race in front of the big crowd. And you already do it on the legend side of things, but this, you got to admit, this would be a step above.
A whole other step. Oh, absolutely. And you know, for a driver like me, this is an opportunity that I don't think I'd ever be able to get. You know, it takes so much and so much money just to get to that point. You know, it's a huge opportunity. It really is.
You know, and you didn't start at that young age of 4, 5, and 6 years old when we. Yep. Some kids. How old were you when you started?
I started at 11 years old when Maine Indoor Karting first opened up. We started racing there, you know, and that's where I got a little bit of road course racing in, and then we went to Beechers Motor Speedway when I was 12.
Yeah,
so ever since.
You know, talk about your early years and what it took like for you to get accustomed to what you were actually doing, and some of the challenges that the kids now starting out are going to face. Are they the same as you faced, or are they going to be a little bit different?
Well, they're the same in a lot of ways, but back when I started, you know, for myself personally, we've never been involved with racing. So it was a huge learning process for not only myself, but my dad, to get accustomed to go-karts, then get accustomed to legend cars and, you know, adjustments and all this, that, and the other. You know, we've never experienced stuff like that. But for kids coming in now, I think especially in the NELCAR Legends Tour, the competition that's coming in now, because racing just keeps growing, and it's growing so much in the Legend Car Series especially, and you see it in go-karts too, where they keep starting younger and younger and younger. There's so much competition now, and you need to be on your A game, and this is what you need to be breathing 24/7. You need to be learning everything that you can about racing now, where the competition's so tough.
And it's funny you say that, because, you know, we used to talk about, oh, we're just going to learn. That's how they learn in the go-karts, or learn at the next step.
Yeah.
But now that's no longer. You need to learn quick, and you got to be on your game, because the next guy is. And like you said, we see it at the go-kart level. There's some families that have some racing history, and they're taking it pretty serious, because they're grooming that child for the next step.
Oh, absolutely.
And there's nothing wrong with that, because we all spend a ton of time and a ton of money, so why not get the results?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's, you know, that's what I'm trying to do this year with some of the younger drivers, like your daughter, and there's a couple other drivers. You know, you got to coach them too. You got to help advance them through those phases. You know, back my rookie year in NELCAR, I put it bluntly, I was terrible. And the second year, I wasn't much better, but, you know, we just kept learning, and I got a lot of coaching from those veteran drivers, and that's what helped me personally the most, was their help that got me to that next level.
And you know what's funny is, you know what, you and all the other young guns, you might not realize it, but you guys are role models, and you guys are the next step for these kids to look up to, because they can relate more to yourself and the other ones, because you're not that far out of their age bracket, you know, for these young kids in karts and starting out, versus, you know, it's hard for us to sit there and go, well, you know, geez, you know, pay attention to what Johnny Clark does, or, you know, watch Mike Rowe or Brian Hoare. You know, they kind of like, well, that's like watching my dad or my granddad, you know. But to watch Evan Beaulieu or Brad Babb, Bobby Timmons, Willie, all these young guns that have been announced, you know, that's their generation. So I think it's easier for them to relate and pick up, hopefully, all the good habits from you guys, because I know each and every one of you has got bad habits.
Yeah, but you know what? You see, that I definitely saw that back when we were racing go-karts. All those young kids would all want to look up to myself, like you said, to Bobby, to Willie, all of us at the go-kart track, you know, and that's, you know, we just have to be good role models. I hope that I have been to some of the young kids coming up, and I wish them all the best.
Well, we haven't seen your name in a police blot or a police report,
no.
so I guess so far so good. But 2011, you know, we had you back on after you won your championship at Beech Ridge for Thursday Thunder, as well as the Nelcar Championship. So you had a great year there, but also business-wise, people might not realize you do a lot more behind the scenes with Nitro Designs and your business with some of the things you do there.
Oh, absolutely. I realize now that I need to start making money, really, to fund this racing. And if I want to keep going, I need to have my own stuff. You know, I want to be able to take the time off in the future to, you know, keep racing, because that's all I want to do. And yeah, Nitro Designs, it's come on so strong, especially this winter. I got work to keep me busy for the next month right now. But you know, you know, it keeps me busy. It keeps me busy, and that's just what I want to be. And it's a little bit of side money to pay for tires or whatever we need during the season, you know. So everybody check out nitrodesigns.net while you're at it.
A little self-promotion there, but talk about 2012, the plans for 2012. I mean, you're coming back to defend, but also you got to be thinking beyond 2012, you know. I mean, do we start thinking about that next step? Do we, you know, start planning on the next course in Evan Beaulieu racing?
Well, we'll see how this young gun competition goes first. But no, it's for 2012. It's pretty much a lot of the same. You know, we got a lot more races on the Nelcar Tour. We want to travel a little bit more. We want to get out there, you know, try to run with those guys down south, because I know we can. I know we can be competitive down south, and we have been before. We just didn't get the chance to a lot last year, but hopefully this year we'll be able to. You know, we want to run that big money race, Legend Stock, to name a few that we do want to run. And we are always looking for sponsors to help us do this. And yeah, I mean, and along with that, we've started up Beaulieu Racing now to house legend cars, set them up, repairs, driver development. We're going to be working with Alicia a lot this year. Wyatt Alexander will name another one that we're going to be working with a lot. And you know, that's kind of the track we're going, is to, you know, help develop young drivers and help develop some you know, even veterans who might not have that little extra that they need in legend car racing.
Yeah, because the legend thing is sometimes you get that guy at 40 years old, gets wants to sow his wild oats or whatever it is they do at 40, and goes out there and decides he wants to go racing, buys himself a legend car, and then you know, doesn't have a clue.
Exactly,
you know?
Exactly. That's what we want to be there for, is to help that guy, you know, progress, because it is a lot of a learning curve, and especially, like I said earlier, it's so much more competitive now.
Yeah. Well, in closing, Evan, is there anything else you want to say about the competition or anybody that's helped you to get you to the point where, you know, you've got a chance to really have something special happen in your racing career?
Yep, I just want to say thank you to my mom, my dad, and my sister, who all came out to the show. My entire family's been really supportive. A lot of them did come out to the show to help support me. And all the fans, if I have any fans that I do have did vote for me, thank you very much. It is quite the honor, and hopefully we can go all the way, but if not, it's going to be cool to see who does.
Yeah, well, that's Evan Beaulieu, Young Gun number 6 in the Maine Young Gun competition. And make sure you stay tuned in, because later on in the show, you'll find out who number 7 is right here on Mainely Motorsports.